This is Matthew Zaleski presenting my small biography on Raymond Duchamp Villon for Group B of Dr. Brown's 20th Century Art History class. So Raymond was born on the 5th of November, 1876 in the Normandy region of France. He was the second of six children, and Raymond was one of four of the Villon children to become successful artists. From 1894 to 1898, he lived in Paris with his brother Jacques, studying medicine at the Sorbonne. However, he became uh, ill with fever, which left him incapacitated and forced him to abandon his medical studies. While he was recovering, he actually began to self-teach himself sculpture. And in 1902, as well as 1903, Raymond was able to exhibit his works at the Salon de la Société Nationale des Beaux-Arts. Apologies for any wrong pronunciations. And because his brother was also a artist of some renown, he actually began to use Duchamp Villon to separate himself from his brother's works. In 1905, he had his first exhibit at the Salon des Automnes and a show at the Galerie Le Grip with his brother Jacques. He tended to have a fair amount of work shown with one or more of his siblings at shows, as unlike a fair amount of artists, he was actually quite successful in his life. In 1907, he moved to the outskirts of Paris, where he and his two brothers became part of the Section d'Or, which were meetings involving, they were a society that had meetings involving artists, poets, and critics. And Raymond's reputation had actually grown to the point where he became a member of the jury of the sculpture section of the Salon des Automnes, and this allowed him to help promote the Cubist movement, which he was actually a part of. In the following years, Raymond and his brothers were in multiple art shows throughout Paris and in some parts of France. And in 1913, the three brothers actually showed their work at the Armory Show in New York City that helped introduce modern art to the US. When World War I broke out, Duchamp became part of the French army and used his medical training to serve in the medical section of that army. During his time there, he actually worked on one of his most famous sculptures, the Cubist sculpture, The Large Horse, shown on the right there. And in 1916, he ended up contracting typhoid fever while stationed in Champagne. He was taken to a military hospital in Cannes, where he died at the age of 41. And that is it.